guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, time for another Monday Musings, a textual examination of the host by Stephenie Meyer. So copyright for this book is 2008. I did purchase it when it came out. She put this out after her Twilight series, and this book puts that series to shame. Rumor had it there was supposed to be, or two more books in this series. We still don't have them, so I don't have a whole lot of hope that we will get them. I wish we would. This story is amazing, and this was my second time to read it, and I finished it last night actually. I'm still in mourning for the characters. I feel such a huge loss now that this story is over. So here's the blurb for the host. Melanie Strider refuses to fade away. Our world has been invaded by an unseen enemy. Humans become host for these invaders, their minds taken over while their bodies remain intact and continue their lives apparently unchanged. Most of humanity has succumbed. When Melanie, one of the few remaining wild humans, is captured, she's certain it is her end. Wanderer, the invading soul who has been given Melanie's body, was warned about the challenges of living inside a human. The overwhelming emotions, the glut of senses, the too vivid memories. But there was one difficulty Wanderer didn't expect: the former tenant of her body refusing to relinquish possession of her mind. Wanderer probes Melanie's thoughts, hoping to discover the whereabouts of the remaining human resistance. Instead, Melanie fills Wanderer's mind with visions of the man Melanie loves, Jared, a human who still lives in hiding. Unable to separate herself from her body's desires, Wanderer begins to yearn for a man she has been tasked with exposing. When outside forces make Wanderer and Melanie unwilling allies, they set off on a dangerous and uncertain search for the man they both love. The book itself has nothing interesting about it at all. The jacket is a little more interesting, and I don't know if the camera picks it up, but you see how her eye kind of reflects silvery. That silvery reflection in the eyes are how humans determine if someone is actually still human or if they have been taken as a host for one of the parasites. So the parasites are aliens from a different world that's just called in the story like the origin planet. We never find out where that actually is. So these aliens travel to different worlds and assimilate themselves, or basically they insert themselves into the beings that live on that planet to bring peace and end violence. So each of the souls, when it is inserted into a host, it lives out the rest of that host's natural life. At that point, the soul can either try a different planet, or if it really likes the one it's on, it can choose to remain there and be reinserted into another being. From what I understand, the only time that a soul actually dies is if it chooses to become a mother, and at that point it's like splits itself into like millions of other souls, and that's a very, very, very rare occurrence. So as far as world building, there's not a lot of work to be done because it does happen on Earth. There is enough mentioned about Wanderer, or the soul that's the main character. There's enough mentioned about her different travels that flesh out what it was like for her as an alien, but there's not a huge amount of graphic detail. Like, we've got just enough to make the story work. As far as characters, you've got Melanie, and Melanie is the body that Wanderer has been inserted into. Okay, so just to briefly kind of give you an idea of the story, Melanie is part of the human resistance. So when she is captured, they insert Wanderer into her, and Wanderer's job is to search through Melanie's memories, find out where any other humans may be hiding, so that the alien souls called Seekers can go and capture the humans and assimilate them. And so it gets a little interesting because Melanie has not relinquished full control. She's still there, and Wanderer has never encountered that before. And so what's funny is they start out, of course, fighting. Wanderer's trying to take complete control. Melanie won't give it. She protects the memories that would reveal where her loved ones are. They become allies because they both really hate the seeker that they're involved in. And so we skip forward. Melanie convinces Wanderer to help her find Jared. And so what's funny is whatever Melanie feels, Wanderer feels. And Melanie just keeps assaulting Wanderer with all these images and memories of Jared, the man she loves. So Wanderer falls in love with him as well because the body she's in loves this man. So therefore she loves this man. And so it is an amazing story of how these two are coexisting in the same body and working together to encourage and get each other to where they find a large pocket of human resistance. And the humans hate her and how they abuse and mistreat her, but she still eventually wins them over. I mean, this story is so well written that I don't know if this were to really happen, if these souls came here, like they all get along with one another. There is no use for currency. They each, whatever you want, you can walk into a store and get. Like they just provide for each other with no cost. They do not fight. They don't argue. If you get hurt, there is no charge for healthcare. You just walk into a healing facility and they heal you. I mean, sure, it sounds rather boring, but also a world where there's actually peace isn't a bad thing. But then again, Wanda, they later shortened Wanderer's name to Wanda. The humans that she is hiding with, she started out a prisoner, but while they learn from her how to treat each other better, she learns how to be more. She learns what it's like to be human. She learns emotions, love, hurt, fear. This book just so tastefully shows how each person is affected by Wanda, and in turn how she's affected by them, and how they all deal with learning about each other. And oh man, it is amazing. The first time I read this book, I remember I was up, I can't remember if I read it in one sitting or two sittings, but I remember when I was reading the end that I was reading holding the book up in front of my face and my eyes like that, so I could just let the tears fall faster so my eyes would stay clear so I could keep reading. And so I knew what was coming. I knew what was coming at the end of the book. And I want to say I got further along in the end before I started ugly crying. I mean, it was Niagara Falls. And it's because it is so beautiful how this book ends. And I mean, like I said, I finished it yesterday afternoon and I'm still in mourning for these people that I grew so attached to, their story and the progression of their characters. And it just kind of really showed that humanity can change. And it was, yeah, it's a book about aliens, but it was just written so believably well. Like I could totally believe this kind of alien invasion could happen. And what's funny is how the humans caught on to the invasion is the fact that like wars were ending, sexual predators, criminals were willingly turning themselves all into the authorities. Like they all of a sudden, like there was the news was not full of horrific things that people were doing to one another. It became all good stories. It just, man, it's fantastic. It is my favorite book about aliens I've ever read. Not that I've read like a whole bunch of them, I'll be honest with you on that, but I have read a few, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that I would recommend this book over any of the rest. This book was adapted to film. They did have a movie a few years ago. The movie was okay. It wasn't terrible. I don't think they captured the true essence of Wanda. And they didn't, of course, make the humans as terrible in the film that they were to her in the story. I really would have to watch the movie again to like go into detail, but I do remember I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was great. 100% the book was 1,000 times better. The movie I can't remember. The book I remembered. I mean, sure, it's been, 12 years since I read it. There were a few things that I forgot that happened. The book was memorable. The movie was not. So that tells you right there, they did not adapt that movie well at all. I did look to see if Stephenie Meyer was on Twitter because I was totally going to tweet her and just start harassing her like every day. So about those rumors for continuing the host, like, yeah, what's up with that? Maybe if I just annoyed her every day with a tweet or two, like a little pesky mosquito, she'd give me what I want. It really breaks my heart. There's a little tear in the jacket. I'm not sure when that happened, but it makes me sad. But guys, this is a truly wonderful story. If you have never read this book, please do so. You will not be disappointed. Don't worry. While I love the Twilight series, if you did not read the books and you saw the movies were complete and utter cheese. They were terrible. Not a single one of them was worth watching. If you're worried that you think you might not like this book because of Twilight, they are completely different styles. So don't let that deter you from trying this book out. It's amazing. And this was my second time reading it. I know it's going to be one that I'm going to pull off my shelf again in a few years and read time and time again. And that is a wrap on the textual examination of the host. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel and haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification at the end. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I would love to have you join my little group of nerds. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. Hopefully I can get over being depressed about this book ending and I can move on to starting a new one or finishing one of the ones I've already got going. Have a fantastic rest of your day and I'll see you soon.